Hello, we're here at West Hill Golf Club having an exclusive look at Cobra's new King F6 Baffler Fairway. Now, this club was originally designed purely with Ricky Fowler in mind. It came about through Ricky Fowler's work with his new coach Butch Harmon, swinging the club more on a steeper plane, which meant his attack angle into the ball was slightly steeper. So Ricky said he needed a club that was a bit more forgiving through the turf and launched the ball a bit higher. And the way that he achieved that was initially through a prototype club, his BioCell Plus fairway. They actually welded two rails onto the bottom to reduce the amount of turf interaction as you hit the ball, to help get the ball up a little bit more, but also make it more playable from different lies. And the end product we see here is this King F6 Baffler now for 2016. Another technology which we see making it more in line with other 2016 products is the adjustable sole weights. We've got a 15 gram and a 3 gram weight here on the bottom, so you can switch the position of those to the front or back depending on your preference and the ball flight that you want to achieve. The other interesting technology we see here is with the MyFly loft adjustability, so lofts ranging from 16 to 19 degrees in 0.5 degree increments. We've also got some draw settings in there as well, so lots of adjustability, lots of technology to help you hit the ball better. We pretty much had the reins to ourselves here at West Hill Golf Club, testing out this club on our GC2 launch monitor. First thing that strikes you down by the ball is how compact this club looks at address. Certainly not a club that's going to inspire confidence to mid-handicappers. Better players will probably like the shape of it, but you can just see how it stems from the tour, where it gets its tour player heritage. You know, it is very, very small behind the ball. Another point certainly worth making about this club is the length of shaft. Now, it comes in at 41.75, which is a good 3/4 of an inch shorter than most fairways. So not only is it going to give you a little bit more control, it's also going to help you be a little bit steeper into the ball and make it play a bit more like an iron, which hopefully should give you more success when using this club from different lies. The second thing that strikes you about this King F6 Baffler fairway is how high it hits the ball. Now, I don't use a 5-wood, so I'm not used to the ball flight of a 5-wood, but compared to any club that I have in my bag, this club hits the ball extremely high. I had it set at 17.5 degrees, which is the mid-loft. I've got the standard stiff shaft, which admittedly may be slightly soft for me, but only slightly. Was really impressed with how high the ball went with that heavier weight in the back setting. Moving it to the front, so that 15 grams of weight, moving it forward, didn't seem to have too much of an effect. Maybe a slightly lower ball flight and maybe lost 100 or 200 RPMs of spin, but in both settings, it was noticeable how high the ball went. That is going to appeal to a lot of people hitting into par 5s. You're going to get loads of stopping power with this club. Even off the mat, I was really squeezing it out there and it was still going really high. So that's one of the key characteristics of this club. Even when I lofted it down to 16 degrees, yes, I got a few more yards, but the ball flight and the peak height was pretty similar, maybe only a fraction lower. So that is one of the standout features of this club, no question, is how high it hits the ball. And the final thing that really stood out for me about this fairway is the versatility of it. And what I mean by that is how many shots you can hit from different lies. So I started off on the range mat, nipped a few away, moved on to the grass. It was actually quite difficult to take a divot with this club. I think that's due to the way the rails glide through the turf. It is very forgiving through the turf. It is hard to take a divot, even if you are hitting it more like an iron, which a lot of people will do because of its size. They'll tend to try and squeeze it out there like an iron, but I was struggling to take significant divots with this club, and then put the ball in the divots, hit some away from that, and the way the club moved through the turf was like nothing I've experienced before. It just went through there so smoothly, so quickly, and even when the ball was sitting down, I was able to hit shots that were not far short of where I was hitting it off the tee and off the range mat. So that is another standout feature that golfers are going to enjoy. If you're looking for a club that is versatile, you want to hit it from the rough, you want to hit it from bad lies, you need a club that's going to stop on the green into par 5s. This is certainly one you should try. Not sure it's going to give you the flight that you want off the tee necessarily, because it does hit the ball so high, but off the fairway, this Cobra King F6 Baffler is certainly one you can try. It comes in just the black only, £179, available on the 1st of May. Really do recommend you give it a try.